Yeah.
All right. Brandon, dude, thanks so much for coming to hang out. We've been trying to make this happen for a hot minute.
Minute. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Stoked to know what's up.
Not much, man. Apologies, Nathan can't be here today. He's off on a wedding. He's just, left me to hold down the fort by myself, but that's all right.
Dude, I trust that you'll do okay.
Dude, he didn't come and see you guys at the Memphis show, and now he's not here for the chat.
Two strikes.
Dude, yeah, shit friend, right?
Two strikes. Two
Hey,
fucking strikes.
yeah, he's got one left. Dude, now we caught up briefly at Memphis, at when I was there with the Memphis guys for the ATREYU the
Yeah.
Curse shows, and we started chatting backstage, and I'm like, we should fucking chill on this, okay? Because this is too much of an important fucking occasion to waste it talking about backstage. And we're like,
Isn't that funny when buddies just you're like, no, we can't talk right now. We got to save this for the
dude,
pod.
it happens. Dude, it happens to us so much. So we went and caught up with Jason from Let Live the other night when they were out here, and we've known Jason for a couple of years now, and Nathan even longer than that. Um, and we were sitting down, and we just were shooting the shit for like an hour
Yeah.
before they played, and we're just sitting there thinking, "Fuck, this would have been a great chat to record."
I
Just like,
always I always get on podcasts and start chatting before we start, and they're like, wait, let's stop. We're here to do this on camera.
yeah, you kind of forget that it's not just a chat between bros. It's like you kind of
Yeah.
have a purpose. But
But it
anyway,
feels
dude,
good when it feels like that though, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
it's good, man. It's good for us. Like, I'm not tooting our own horn or whatever, but it's nice for us to feel like, for instance, with the Memphis guys, you become mates with these guys for years and years through doing this sort of stuff, and it is cool to have that sort of, because we realize that press is a bit of a touchy subject for a lot of people. It can be a bit of a monotonous task. So to have
Yeah.
bands actively want to sit down and have a chat and just hang out is a really cool thing.
It's actually been kind of the glory of of the podcast format becoming more and more like a mainstay in popularity and just like being a part of press these days and media
Yeah.
is that it doesn't end up being the same bullshit over and over and over again. It's just usually just a conversation, which is so much more interesting than like, so where'd you get your band name? What's your favorite song on the new album? Like that's no one cares about that shit.
Yeah, I mean, well, I am going to ask you that.
You're all shit. That was my first question.
But we ask that sort of shit because selfishly we just want to know what we want to know about the album. And as
Yeah,
like fans of heavy music, dude, and you'd know yourself when you used to watch bands getting talked to on fucking MTV, or if you were reading it in Metal Hammer or whatever back in the
yeah,
day, you're just like, why the fuck didn't they ask about this? I want to know about this.
yeah. What makes them tick? Yeah,
Yeah, 100%, dude. Because it's a pretty special community, the metal community, the hard music community. It's
absolutely.
it's a lot of people that just feel like they didn't belong somewhere else, and it's just grown into this massive thing over the years, and it's really cool. But there's
Yeah,
also
yeah. For metal bands, it's just a bunch of fucking idiots that didn't belong anywhere else.
100%, and we will get into this further, but there is also a dark side to it,
Yes.
and
Okay.
you've seen this first and foremost, and I've seen this first and foremost because I've been one of those guys on the internet that's jumped to your defense.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, dude. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about re-recording one of the most seminal metalcore albums of all time. And I don't say that to blow smoke. I say that genuinely. It is one of the most important metalcore albums to ever drop.
Thank you. First of all, that's very very kind words. I mean, first of all, fans of Atreyu or not, people that are aware of Atreyu had to have it had to have crossed their mind once that we sat down as a band and talked about the pros and cons of potentially doing this. You know what I mean? Like we had the is this a good idea conversation. Why is it a good idea? Why is it a bad idea? What do we want to do more kind of thing? What do we care about more, you know? So we went into this knowing that it was going to be a very polarizing thing for people to digest. And with that, we sort of just had to go into it with the confidence that we felt we were going to do something that we could stand on. You know what I mean? We felt that we were going to do something that we could actually like, be proud of and stand behind. and quite honestly defend, which we try not to do that much. I mean, if I'm being honest, at this point, I think our fans realize that myself, I will get in our comments and just be quippy and snarky for no other reason than it boosts the fucking algorithm, guys. If there is 400 comments on a post, a lot more people see it than if there's 200 comments. And if I say something stupid or say your mom to some idiot, it's an extra 30 posts, guys. Like I'm just
Yeah.
playing the game.
But
But it's
also,
like,
man, like to interject quickly, it humanizes you guys. It brings it back to a human place because most people aren't expecting their favorite band, and especially no less the fucking singer, to jump back and spend time replying to any of these comments.
and I've had many of like I think what turned out to be great conversations with some of these people that start so drastically like fuck your whole life. And I'm like, well, tell me what the fuck did I ever do to you? You know what I mean? Like, what do you know? What do you not know? And ended up having private conversations with people where I'm like, because then I'll get into a back and forth and people will then DM me or like, and they'll be like, hey man, like, I'm sorry. Like, I love your band. I just, I feel this way. And it's like, once people get an opportunity to hear the person who actually is on the side of that knows the information, like to explain the whys and hows and what it means and what it means for us as a band as far as ownership and all these things and why we did it, they're like, oh, I understand now. And then it's like, hey, like, I know what you did. You probably got halfway through Bleeding Mascara or The Crimson, song 1, 2, or 3, and went, fuck this, and I'm done. And I'm like, start the record at song 5. Listen to 5 on. Go to the deep cuts first and
Dude,
dig
that's
in.
a great point.
And I'm like, you will change your tune, I think. Especially when it's like you'll start to see the record not for like the favorite heartstring songs that you had as a teenager, but it's like, what is this as a whole? And it's like, go visit it one more time. And if you hate it, tell me you hate it, and I'll buy you a beer next time we see each other and we'll hang out. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to love what we do. It's not a big deal. But it's like, I think when people actually just can actually get an understanding of what the why, people are a lot more cool about it, you know?
The craziest part is though, dude, at the end of the day, like you you don't have to give a why. That's the
No,
funny thing. Is like you guys
they're not entitled to that. No one is
no,
entitled to
no, it's
No
not
one
their
fucking
band.
no one fucking went to fucking Mark Ryden and was like, why the fuck did you paint that? When no one went to like great artists, and we're like, why'd you do that? I don't agree with that fucking thing. It's like it had nothing to fucking do with you.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, and fans hate it, it's the Rick Rubin thing. Like fan comes last. And it's unfortunate because this is art. It's not commerce. Like if you start at a point of commerce, you're fucking blowing it.
Yeah.
Like music it should not start at commerce. That's the after effect. So it's like you have to start, art has to start in the minds of the creator, and that's it. That's all that matters. And if people like it, that's a bonus. That's a bonus feature of the whole ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
they never signed up to fall in love with songs. They never signed up to have an emotional connection. It's a byproduct of art, like you said.
And it's also the thing where it's like we're not like we're not Disney Plus where you signed up for Disney Plus and you were like, this is great, and then all of a sudden they had commercials and you're like, the fuck was that? I thought I paid for no commercial. Like, what the fuck happened? And it's like, fuck you, Disney Plus. It's like, yeah, like we didn't like make you agree to something and sign up for something and then we just fucking shit on you. Like it's like this is all optional. These are all choices we have in life to listen to things or experience things,
It's a strange one as well, because the only reason that it's so divisive is because it was so important. When Bleeding Mascara kicked in as the second track after an intro of The Curse, it automatically people just went, it was a wow moment. It was really a holy fuck. You guys had taken everything that everybody loved about the first album and you just times it by 10. Everything had been turned up to 10. The hooks, the riffs, the heaviness, the production, everything had been turned up to 10, and it was at the perfect time. It was at the perfect time. So I 100% get, when songs like Right Side of the Bed and The Crimson are so ingrained in who we are as heavy music fans, there's an emotional connection. Man, I have those emotional connections to those songs. Of course. I had them to the whole Thrice Artist in the Ambulance album as well.
Yeah.
The interesting thing for me is, right, I went to that show and I hadn't listened to The Curse start to finish in a long time because
Yeah.
you just don't do it anymore. You don't, a
No.
lot of the time, you just don't do it. You don't have the time.
I think I have 3 records in my life that I will listen to front to back, like multiple times. Maybe.
We'll
You
circle
know,
back to that then. Yeah, but like I watched you guys come out. I watched you guys tear through an album where I had almost forgotten some of the placement of some of the songs. I'd almost forgotten how much I loved some of these songs. And I watched a room full of people, sold out room full of people, lose their fucking minds to an album that was so important. Now, the funny thing with this is you guys were playing it as the band you are now. You delivered it the way you are now because I heard some of those nuances. I heard some of those little changes. I heard some of the bits where the solo was different or at half-timed a little bit, or you
yeah,
slightly changed your vocal melody. I heard Porter screaming the whole thing. Heard a different drummer behind the kit. No one said shit. Everyone was like, this is the fucking greatest. This is amazing. Thank you, Atreyu. And as soon as you put that in a recorded format, everyone's like, not everyone, a lot of people are like, what have you done? This is shit. Fuck your band. It's
yeah.
wild.
And like again, a lot of them are doing it before they actually do any sort of research.
Yeah.
They're not even giving it a chance, which it's not it's not on me to even ask for that. Yeah, I don't deserve that for you. I don't deserve for anyone to care. No one. It doesn't matter. I'm just a dude in a fucking band. You can like it or hate it, but it's like I think that that's the thing. That's a huge element of our band, with not only with this re-record, but also with our band in the last 5 years since I started running the band. It's one of those things where people are mad, and I always just say, I'm like, just come see us, come to a show, and if you're still fucking mad, it was meant to be, and you were meant to hate our band, and our time together has ended, But it's like I think that if people see it, you get lost in it. In like in the moment, I'm not thinking of oh shit, are they noticing that my voice is weird and different? Porter's singing, screaming a lot of shit, and like I don't usually scream in the band, but now I do, and that guy's playing drums. I'm not thinking about it. I'm lost in my fucking 18, 19-year-old brain going, wow, these songs are fucking taking me back to a show that feels like it felt 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We feel the same as the crowd, as you explained the crowd feeling in that moment. So it's like, you know, I think if people can just see it, like you're a perfect example to go and watch it and be like, you're performing like it is now. It's like, but no one in the room was thinking that. Everyone in the room was just in the moment
Yeah.
and like enjoying what it was. And all of these things are just temporary anyways. Like we're not gonna just play the curse forever on tour. This isn't our trajectory of the band from now on. It's like this is a celebration of a really cool moment and a really cool thing for us. So it's like we enjoy it for what it is.
When you drop the album, obviously you said, you guys had discussions on, is this a good idea? Is it a bad idea? I'm sure you expected some kind of, I guess I'll say backlash or opposition to doing it. But the level of it, was it kind of what you expected? Did it sully the moment for you guys at all?
I mean, we expected it for sure. Like even like people like my wife was like, y'all are about to fucking get flamethrowered. Like it doesn't matter how good it sounds or bad it
Yeah.
sounds. Like you're about to fucking get burned at the stake. And it was like she's like I wasn't worried, but like my wife was like, hey, I'm not looking forward to this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where we expected it, and the reality is, I was having this discussion with a friend of mine yesterday about we're just talking about our band and like our fan base and what that means right now, and there's a level of disdain that exists in our band for whatever reason, whether it's 15 years ago when we sold out, whether it's we're not metal enough anymore, we don't scream enough anymore, which we do still a lot. It's whether we record the album, it's different singer, whatever it may be. There's this chunk of like angry people, right?
Yeah.
But if you actually looked at like if you took them all and put them together, and I can say this number I think with confidence, and I'll probably get raked for this comment. It's like 5,000 people. I think it's literally like I can go through. I recognize screen names. I recognize handles. I'm like, oh, you again. Oh, you again.
Yeah.
You again. Oh, okay, you again. Oh, you're friends with that guy. Like it. It's like 5,000 people. Maybe it's 10,000 people. I'll be generous. It's 10,000 people. And then you also have the concept that hate and negativity is a louder, those are louder emotions than any others. So people pay attention to that more, people focus on that more. But then there are literal millions that are just like,
Yeah.
love what you guys are doing. But people don't, it's sad, but people rarely will express just those thoughts and be like, this is fucking crazy. There are lots that do. But if I actually fucking took every single social media handle and added them up, that's the truth of it. So
Yeah.
it's like there's this level that will exist, but that's every band. Honestly, I wish there were more. I wish there were more people that were pissed because I think if a lot of people are mad at what you're doing something right. It's striking a chord. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But
Yeah.
it's just we're very cognizant that we remade a giant piece of history. You know what I mean? Like it's a dangerous game, but it was a game we were willing to play because we wanted to. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's the bottom line, really.
I think the ownership of the music is a huge point as well that people
Absolutely.
don't
And that's
cover.
most people, I'd say 99% of people don't understand what that even means.
Yeah.
And, you know, to explain that, if I could just kind of further that, we made that record on Victory Records. Victory Records does no longer it no longer exists. It got bought. Their catalog got bought by Concord Music Group, who is like a conglomerate that owns like so many music catalogs. They're wonderful people. They do a great job at like administering and taking care of the catalog. But we have nothing to do with them. It was not a choice of ours. We didn't get money for signing to them. They just got our catalog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also, we signed to Victory Records when we were kids, and much like many record deals you sign when you're kids, it was a fucking terrible deal. So like, there's not just like money pouring in from our Victory Records. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So re-recording this on our own dollar and in our own time. I mean, our current record label asked. They were like, "Do you want us to put like, do you want us to put it out? Like, what do you want from us?" And we were like, "We don't want anything from you. Just give us permission to do it." Which they did. Coolest fucking label on the planet.
It's really fucking
And
cool.
they, I mean, this means that if you listen to the Curse 2025, we own 100% of it. And then people also say, "Oh, you're just trying to steal money from the fucking previous members." It's like, no, no, no. Like
Dude,
the
that
way
shit.
the way publishing royalties work, it's registered. No matter you can re-record a song if fucking you know if you take a Rolling Stones cover and cover it and put it up on Spotify tomorrow, you don't get that money. The Rolling Stones still get that money because they wrote the song. They have the publishing royalties. So whatever publishing royalties go into any sort of avenue, they go to the original writers. So it's like,
Exactly. You've actually done a favor to ex
yeah,
members.
and so it's one of those things where it's like we actually own a piece of our history now, and it's like that's a crazy thing as a band. Most bands don't even get to a point where they can do that. They don't ever get the opportunity to do that.
Isn't it wild when somebody like Taylor Swift does this? It's like, you go, girl. Good on you. I'm so happy for you. Atreyu did it. Fuck you guys.
Pop fans, metal fans. No, I think metal fans and heavy music in general, it's just held a little maybe a little bit more sacred. But also with Taylor Swift, the difference is there is like she has the funding to go back to the same producer and say, how do we make this sound exactly the fucking same? I'm gonna have the same people play on it, the same fucking plugins, the amps, the whatever. We're just gonna re-record the whole thing, and I'll pay you the same amount of money I did to make it the first time.
Yeah.
We don't have that luxury, but
No.
but we did as good as we could. You know what I mean? And
And
we tried to stay as true as we could. I mean, sonically, it sounds different on
well,
purpose
it's
because
it's it's modern.
there's a lot of things about the Curse that we don't like the way it sounds. Like the guitars are kind of really like super too tight. They're like too robotic. Like a lot of the vocals, my performances especially, I wasn't the best singer back then. I'd only been singing in the band for like 3 years. So it's
I
like,
will say on the clean vocal parts on this album, the bits where you have sort of changed it, and it's not even like drastic changes. It's less, and I don't want this to come off wrong. You know, it's all coming from like an honest place.
honesty is accepted.
It's it's it doesn't sound like you're trying as hard now to be seen as a good singer as you were back then. Some of those things are some of those notes and those keys, and you've slipped into them a little bit more with a little bit more less sort of acrobatics, and it sounds a lot more natural. And I only say that because I recognize it being a singer as well. It sounds like it's way more comfortable, whereas back in the day, it's like, how do I make this clean chorus sound really, really technically proficient, like I'm a fucking great singer? And hey, it did sound great in the day. And yes, hearing it for the first time on the newer stuff, it is a little bit jarring at first. But a few listens, man, and that it's those earworms are still there. It makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. And it's like, oh, this is a guy who was a great singer, but he's now a smarter great singer.
Well, it's 20 years of I always people always get mad at this where like my whole career I've focused since I started singing, literally since I started having a position of a voice in our band. I focused more on my voice than I did on the drums. And like even my wife's like, you're a good drummer, but if you gave a shit about drums, you could be a great drummer. I'm like, like I play everything I want to play in our band, and I'm comfortable in that, and I'm confident in my skills as a drummer. But I always focus more on being a singer.
Yeah.
So that to me, it's like this is what it sounds like when you have a singer that's been trying to become a better singer for 20 years. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, and again, it was like trying to keep all those things the same, but like a little embellishment here and there, a little run that I couldn't do 20 years ago, a
Yeah.
note that I couldn't hit 20 years ago. You know, even with the phrasing, like we were really, really militant about. I think there's maybe like 3 or 4 phrasings on the whole album, specifically with Alex's parts that we did a little bit different, only because he had such a unique way with phrasing and with like his meter that it's really hard to imitate and sound
Yeah.
comfortable. So it was like, okay, like it sounds weird when I try to do his thing. So I'm just gonna alter like the way I say this one word. But it only happens like a handful of times, even that. So it's like all that phrasing, like Porter especially. Porter has a complete polar opposite style of screaming than Alex did, or
Porter's also
does.
playing an instrument while doing it.
Yes. Yeah. And he had to actually take that into account. Like what we broke up the singing parts. It was like sitting down and saying like who was going to scream what? Like how was it going to work live when we knew it, because it started with playing these shows. It was like how is it going to work live? What can I sing? What makes sense for you to sing and then me to play? And so it's like we had to figure all those things out. So for him it was even, it's hard to be like fuck man, I'm like I have to mold into this other
Yeah.
character to do this. So it's definitely challenging, but like I said, we tried our best to like sonically, it's different, it's modern, and I think it sounds way more crisp and huge. Delivery wise, though, we tried to stay as true as we could. I mean, I studied the fucking record, and I played all the drums again, and I did it exactly like I did the last time. We did drums in like, I mean, last time I think we did drums for the curse on 2 days. I did the drums for this on in a day, and it
Oh,
was like, don't overthink, don't don't get fucking weird about it. You know the parts. You studied this. Just go in and play what you play. And it was like that's what I did when I recorded the curse. Like, so it was like, trying to really just stay as true. The only real, I think, major difference, which is such a tough one, I think, for people too, is the intro. Because it's like when you go to put on the record and the intro is different, you're like, oh fuck. That's just like they're like, what are they doing? This isn't even. I don't know what this is. But that's true. That was the one decision we made where we were like, that was the one part of the curse that nobody liked. We were like, I don't like the way that intro came out. So it was like, I don't want to recreate a thing we didn't like about the record.
Intro tracks were all just such a huge thing in the early 2000s metalcore scene. Like everyone
Yeah,
was doing them and everyone thought they were great. And then nowadays, everyone's just like, skip.
yeah, we're not gonna. I'm not listening to it. Like I'm not.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
did a fucking. We have a record. Our record baptized. We did a fucking this like beautifully, so methodically thought out a cappella intro to the record, and we were like, this is fucking Queen, man. Like this is all our voices. Everyone in the band sang on it, and it was like it's methodically like lyrics from every song on the record, and it's like this thing, right? And it's like it's cool live, but like go look at the streams to that record. Like no one listens to the intro fucking track. Period. Like period. It's like they're gonna skip that one anyways.
Now, obviously, I haven't had a chance to talk to Kellen about the production side of things because when I saw you guys, I hadn't heard it.
Yeah.
But goddamn, did I stream that fucker on the way home? How's he taken it? Have you been in touch with him since? Because he did a
Yeah.
fantastic job, man. He's a really, really gifted producer. Like he is such a great engineer. I mean, just look
Yeah.
how good Memphis stuff sounds.
I
How has
mean,
it been for him after the fact?
he's fine. Like he also knows, like he's in a band, he gets it. He's in a band that's made some pretty polarizing decisions as well. you know, like so he's fine. He thinks it's funny. Like he literally lives. I could walk to Kellen's house in 4.5 minutes right now. He lives down the street, so we see each other all the time. Uh, he was. We joke about it. You know what I mean? But the reality is, he knows that he did a good job, just like we know that he did a good job. Like it's not. We're not speaking in facts when people criticize the sonics or the mix of the record. We're
Of
speaking in
course.
emotions and reference points, you know? And it's like I think he did a great job and he really like he was fucking great with like making sure all the guitars were tight. And it was funny because even not even knowing, we made the curse and like we said this before in interviews, but making the curse was like fucking it was a headache. And it was really weird because parts of the record were done super analog. Like we recorded the drums in like this big open room. There's no samples at all on the drums. It's all like real sounds. I don't play to a click track. It's like nothing. But then the
Is that not
guitars.
to a click?
Oh no, yeah. I'll get into that fun
Fuck.
fact. My next. I'll talk about that next. But then the guitars were recorded so like sterile. Like it was literally like da na 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 tune ba na 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 na. Like the riff in Bleeding Mascara was literally like Dan could play it and it was fine, but it was like skidded it, did it, skidded
Wow.
it. But that's why it sounds so tight. And we were like, oh man, like there was such a headache. But then we got in with Kellen. Kellen's the same way. Kellen's like, no, this has to be fucking airtight. So it was like really like
Oh
the
shit.
mindset. The mindset was like, oh, well, here we are again. You know what I mean? Like it's the same kind of process. But he was just great and like even referencing like we'd be in there and he'd be thinking of things that we didn't think of. Like you sang this way and like listen to this. It's not the same. Like, are you okay with that? It's like, oh no, you're right. Let's do this again. Like, or even when he was adding production elements, he was very like he would do things and be like, what do you think of this? Like too much, not enough. Like, you know what I mean? Because in my head, I was like, make this sound as big as you want it to sound. You know what I mean? It shouldn't sound like a Bring Me record, you know what I mean? Or like with just like production all over the place, which we love. We've made many records like that, but it's like he was very respectful and just like open about because he knew it's like he knew how important it was to be what we needed it to be. So he's been great. He's not listening to the negative either.
Yeah.
Like he's fine. He's
Yeah,
fine.
that's good.
That dude is talented.
All right, now talk to me about the click track thing.
Okay. So we didn't record that to a click track. I was, I think, 19 years old when I recorded that. Excited fucking kid in Brian Adams' fucking studio in Canada, just like loving life, making our first like kind of budget record,
Yeah.
and I'm just being a 19-year-old kid in there, man. Like it's all over the place. It's one of the things that gave the record its charm because there's a push and pull that you don't hear really, but you feel it.
Yeah.
And we were as meticulous to go back and we tempo mapped all the changes. So like if I speed up, we tempo mapped the speed up and then had to come back down where I came back down and
Wow.
like we tried to be meticulous enough to where it was like those we don't want to take away those feelings. You know what I mean? Those kind of like subliminal feelings. So we went through and had to tempo map the whole fucking thing, the ups and downs and the fucking loop de loops. Kellen was like, "What the fuck were you doing?" And I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. I was a kid, like I was doing what a kid does." But like we went back and like and all the tempos are the same. The pushes and pulls are the same.
It's incredible. It's also again, not to blow smoke, but it's a testament to how good you guys were at such a young age to be able to do that and lock in the way you did, even though obviously the guitars were recorded the way they were, etc. But it must be something that you look back on and it must sort of, without sort of, I guess, yourselves getting too sort of pig-headed about it, you must be proud of what you guys were able to do at such a young age, and you'd put the effort in, you'd put the time in, and it obviously paid off because the record is so important to so many people.
I mean, that's not lost on us at all. Like we were in the moment, we were five kids that were just trying to do something we loved. You know what I mean? And we put out a record and didn't know what to think, and then people paid attention, and we were like, shit, we don't want them to stop paying attention. So like we were very methodical about how we made the curse, and we wrote the curse and fully demoed the curse and put it in order before we even went to the studio to make it. Like
Yeah.
we did it, the whole damn things. Like it was we have the demos. We found the demos, which one day they might see the light of the day. Part of me doesn't want them to. But like it's like 80% the same. Like it's pretty fucking spot on. So like we really thought about it, and it was just at the time we were just doing something because we wanted to just be able to keep doing what we were doing, and we got lucky enough that it resonated, and here we are. I mean, we've been in it for 27 years, and it's
Yeah.
like we're still fucking kicking, and a big part of that is because of that record we made 21 years ago.
Yeah, and it must be hard to kind of like keep going with that and then not, not slip into full nostalgia band territory.
Yeah,
But
we had the hardest time even doing curse stuff, to be honest, because we've always just been like look forward, don't ever look back.
yeah,
Like that art's there, let's just keep moving forward. And it wasn't until we got the offer to do the When We Were Young shows, and then so we booked the House of Blues show in Anaheim as like a warm-up show because we didn't want to go into it just like fucking never playing this record before live.
yeah,
And it wasn't until that first show and then that weekend of shows really that we were like, holy shit. Like we expected, when I think of a nostalgia play or a band playing an album, it's like, especially how we and a lot of bands sequenced out records back then. It was like all our records are front loaded. Every fucking record from the era was front loaded. It was like
absolutely.
the bangers were 1 through 5 if you were lucky, and then the rest of them were cool songs. But it was like you got lucky if you played any of those live ever.
Yeah,
So it was like we're gonna play 4 songs, and then everyone's gonna fall asleep, and no one's gonna have it's gonna be a weird show. And when it wasn't, we were like, this feels fucking cool. Like for us, it was a throwback too, and it was like you have those like that prideful just excitement, of like that we did when it first happened, and it's like wow, like the universe has offered us another opportunity to feel something again, like
for
feel
sure.
that very specific thing that most people don't get an opportunity to feel again. It's like wow, they handed us that again. So that's when it was like okay, we should do more of these shows. Like let's record the record, this feels good.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
we are, like I said before, like we're not just going to be a band that plays our old records forever. Like this is a temporary thing. Like will it happen again with other records? Like I don't know, maybe if the world wants it,
The
but it's
crowd
like
wants it, yeah.
yeah, but it's like we're always moving forward still.
For sure. And I will continue on the whole nostalgia thing, but I do want to circle back to obviously, everyone's parts on the curse. How's Porter feeling after all this? Because obviously he's taken up a whole new role in the band for a long time. He's been doing it live and on, records since, but stepping into someone else's shoes, stepping into Alex's parts where he needed to, potentially a little bit more comfortable for you as, you guys, you were always a singer. How's it been for Porter stepping into those moments, and how's he taken that? Live, it's completely different. On a recording sense, you've got people that they've got something real to scrutinize.
I think he definitely has a confidence about himself because he knows his voice is fucking awesome. Porter's voice is fucking crazy.
Dude, he's got a great scream as well. Like,
It's
it's really good.
it's unlike anything I've ever heard. He's such a unique voice, and it's just like that fucking animal just comes out of his mouth. Like it's like, and it's funny, like the way you said it, it's almost sort of the opposite of what you said. I think he maybe had nerves and reservations about delivering things the right way, but I think I had more nerves and than he did
Yeah.
because I was always the dude that sang in the band. So now I'm going to be screaming a bunch too. Um, that's people. There's the thought of like people are going to be like, oh, so you just think you can fucking scream now? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you just whatever. And two, another moment of like we talked to about earlier about like people knowing the truth of things, or thinking they know the truth of things, but not. There's a huge amount of people that think that the only reason Alex is no longer in our band is because of me. And it's only because of me. And I run a dictatorship of a band, and it's like, get the fucking guy out of here. And I want the fucking everyone look at me. Like, that's not what
I'm going to
happened.
clip that now, right, for socials.
Yes, yes, yes. But it's like, that's not what happened. But I know that that's what a lot of people think. So I knew right away where it's going to be like, who's this fucking guy think he is coming in and doing this? And I will say this to Alex's credit too. Like I said before, it was fucking hard.
Mm.
Like performing a lot of his stuff was it was challenging. and it was challenging not only to find a voice and find a sort of a voice that I was comfortable with in the screaming world, that I was like, hey, this is good enough to put on record, but like to do that justice, because he killed the curse. Like
Yeah.
the curse is one of his better sounding records, I think, vocally. You know, so it's like one of those things where I think I had more internal than even Porter may have.
And feel free to say pass on this one if you like. Have you guys heard from Alex since? Has he commented on the new album, the re-recording, or anything like that?
No, he hasn't. I sort of, I maybe expected to hear something, you know. I think of the two of us, he was definitely the more vocal one when we split. But I also think that his life's just in a good place from what I've heard. And I don't think that I don't know because I haven't talked to the dude. But short answer, no. He hasn't said anything, nor have we even talked. There's a world that I would like to exist where that's not the case, and there could be a cordial, just like conversation or understanding of something, and just so that it doesn't weigh on either side's souls for the rest of our lives.
For sure,
But
yeah.
but but that's a world that I would like to see. I don't know that it'll ever happen. You know,
Well, yeah. I mean, you can only do your part at the end of the day.
and I can respect that also.
For sure,
You
for
know,
sure. Look, I mean, maybe it's a testament to where he is anyway as a person in his life if he hasn't felt the need to sort of say anything. So,
for sure, for
um,
sure.
now throughout the album, the re-recordings, what do you think was your favorite change that you guys did? What was one of the moments where you were really, really stoked that you actually sort of changed it up a little bit?
I think when we started to get like it didn't happen until we started to get like kind of got into like mixing phase. You know what I mean? Because that's when stuff really comes to life. You start to hear things like at their full potential. Um, there were some really cool moments. Like I think there's a lot of cool like harmonies that happened that didn't exist on the curse, just because we didn't have that sort of card in our deck back in the day. You know, like we hadn't like learned that yet.
Yeah.
Um, there's some really fun like guitar solo moments, kind of like you mentioned, that are different because that's the way the dudes ended up playing them forever. You know, like on that record cycle and beyond, it was like nothing's ever the same live, and there'd be like a solo that Dan would just play differently live because it felt cool, and then that becomes what it is. Same with Travis. So it was like there's some cool changes there where it's like, oh, like I know that part because I've heard it every night on stage for the last 20 years. But like, it's cool that now everyone else can understand that. And I think people, there's like some changes that subliminally, like if you follow the band and you've seen the band, you've
Yeah.
probably seen us play those songs like this so many times that you're like, yeah, that's what it sounds like. But you know,
100%.
you don't realize it's a reference, you know? But I mean, a lot of it, I think a lot of it was vocally and then production wise, like it was cool to just hear songs sound like bigger, like heavier. You know what I mean? I think
Absolutely.
at the time with Suicide Notes and The Curse both, um, it ended up working in its favor. But those records are both like very much not heavy. Like the guitars aren't super heavy. Like it's not like a crushing mix. You're not like you got to crank those fucking records to 12 to really fucking like be like, yeah,
Feel them.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And I think we were always like we always envied like a lot of other bands. You'd hear like Lamb of God or like God Forbid or fucking even like 18 Visions. Like we'd have these records where like God, these records are just slamming, and like our first two records didn't do that. And so for us to be like, wow, these guitars are like heavy now.
Yeah.
Like the breakdown is like fucking powerful. Like, oh, the fucking 808 drop that we used on the record was like a dinky, weird 808 drop. But like, this is the real one. Like, this is a good sounding one. Like, those moments for me were like stoked. It was like, okay, this is how I always wanted to hear this record, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, playing the songs, you obviously mentioned a lot of people don't get the chance to hear deep cuts, and that is one of the beauties of nostalgia tours. Like I've seen Kiss like 10 times, and I would have been happy to never hear fucking I Was Made for Loving You or Rock and Roll All Night ever again and
Yeah.
hear something else,
Yeah.
But that's just the way it is when you get to a point and you've got hits, and the more albums you make, the more hits you've got, and
Yeah.
it gets harder to phase things out. What of the tracks off the Curse do you reckon were kind of given a little bit more of a second chance and got a little bit of a better reception than they might have got in the past, or better than you expected?
On the end of like songs that already did pretty good, I think "You Eclipse" by Me. That was like a mainstay. We played that one a lot. It was like a fan favorite, but it wasn't a single, you know.
Yeah.
That one, I think, like from the jump, like we put out. I think it was what we did, "Right Side of the Bed" first, and then we put out "You Eclipse" second, before the album came out, and like the reaction was polar opposite. Like people were like, "Fuck you, burn in hell," and then "You Eclipse" came out, and they were like, "I fuck with this." Like it was like for some reason just it displayed better. I don't know why.
Was
I
Right
don't
Side of the
know.
Bed not received well? I mean, it's been so fucking long. I don't remember. All I remember is seeing it and seeing the music video and be like, "Yep, they've made it. They're rock stars
Oh
now."
no, no, the original. Yes, I'm talking about
Ah,
the re-record. Yeah, the
oh, right.
re-record.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah. But "You Eclipse" has been sick. I think that like some others that have been that I think have gained complete new light for me is like "This Flesh a Tomb." "My Sanity" is like
I was
one of my
literally
favorite
about to
songs.
say My Sanity and even Corseting.
Yeah, of course, things sick. "Nevada's Grace" is like another one of that. I'm just like, wow, like this song. I don't know why. I just like it more now.
mm,
I like playing it and stuff. But back then, it was like it was a sleeper. But even live too, like people are going off for "My Sanity," and they're like, well, okay, like that's different. Like that's. But so I think those are definitely a few that like I've noticed. For me, I like more, but even just the live setting too, it's like, well, this is different than last time.
yeah. All right. Now, you told me just before that there were 3 albums that you play front to back, or that you would still play front to back. I want to ask you, what is an album from a band that you would love to see played in its entirety that you've never seen?
um, I missed um, I missed the AFI Sing the Sorrow show. I would love to have seen that. Um, I would love to see Jimmy Eat World Bleed American front to back. Um, damn, trying to think of some fucking classics. Like I would love to fuck. I don't know. There's a. It's funny because a lot of it will end up being like not heavy records.
Dude, that's fine.
um,
I'll give you a little story on Jimmy Eat World. I love that band. I always
yeah,
have loved that band. But I was waiting to see Glassjaw for years and years and years. And they'd finally come out to Australia and they were playing it. I think it was the Roundhouse in Sydney. And I was like, fuck yes, Glassjaw headline show. This is amazing. I can't wait for this. And then Jimmy Eat World got added to the bill and it shortened Glassjaw's set time. And I fucking hated that band for it, man. And I'm sitting
why
there
did
just,
you do
dude, I'm sitting there watching them going, fuck these guys, man. They took like 30 minutes off Glassjaw, but goddamn, they're
that?
good.
Dude, that band is just, especially that record to me, like that's an era, like, a special place in my heart,
Yeah.
moment in my life, for sure. Like, there's a lot of random, like, Blindside Silence would be a sick record
Oh,
of live. Um, like, there's a bunch of bands that like I never even got to like experience too. Like, there's this band called the Joy Killer, and it's like no one fucking knows who the fuck they are. It's Jack Grisham, who was the singer of fucking God, I'm gonna lose punk points for this.
do
Wow, it sucks because I didn't listen to
you want
his.
me to Google it quickly?
Yes, I didn't. This shows you how much I didn't listen to his band that he's known for. Um, but yeah, I'll wait for you to Google it first.
Grisham, was it? Jack Grisham.
Yeah,
TSOL.
yeah. So well, thank you. I sorry, punk rock dudes in the world. I didn't give a fuck about this one. But I found the Joy Killer, and it was like the coolest fucking band I've ever heard. Like they sounded so weird. His voice is so good. But they have a record called Static that I would pay good money to see live. I'm super bummed that I'm not making it to any of the Black Parade shows. I would
Oh,
love to.
yeah.
I saw that. I saw that record multiple times when they did it on the site. Like I don't know if anyone remembers this, but during that cycle, they would come out as the Black Parade, play the record front to back, and then encore with a completely different stage setup and come back as Mike Hem and play like the
Fucking hell.
hits. Like I think I saw that 3 times during the cycle. Like I would love to see that again, and just like the theatrics that they're involving in the whole thing now, and like the grandeur of like the stadium show is. I would love to see that.
I've still never caught them live, man. It's one of those bands that for whatever reason I've just missed every single time, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's a fucking bummer.
yeah, they're still a fucking great band. Still,
All right, so create me your dream festival lineup of 5 bands.
damn, I should fucking
You
prepare and
guys,
have these.
no. It's funnier to watch people squirm.
Um,
You're not playing the festival though.
I'm not playing the festival.
No. You're running it and attending Sallerfest.
Is this Alive or Dead?
Whatever you want, man.
Damn. Okay, I'm gonna do Alive or Dead just because that opens that broadens the spectrum a little bit more for me.
Yep.
Uh, I'm gonna do Tom Petty's the headliner.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna do. Let's just fucking go with bands playing records, right?
Okay.
Tom Petty is playing Full Moon Fever. Uh, fucking Blindside is playing Silence. Jimmy World's playing Bleed American.
Yeah.
Um, the Joy Killer doesn't exist. They're playing Static. I have one more band.
Yeah.
Um, oh, you know what? I've seen it recently and I still love it. And this is the hardcore kid in me. OG lineup Throwdown is playing Beyond Repair.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, you know what? And I'm gonna add sixth too. Poison the Well is playing You Come Before You.
Stealing my top 10 albums of all time. Incredible.
Crazy good. But dude, so Throwdown plays shows now as OG, well, almost OG lineup as Beyond Repair. And they play that record and like a couple of the songs. And it is, I saw it like a year ago and it was 15-year-old me in the pit just getting like head walked on and just like
beat down for days.
Full rewind. Yeah. And that shit still sticks with me.
Dude, I love the fact that there's a bit of a resurgence of that with bands like Kublai Khan, bringing that style back and doing it really well.
I'm here for it. There's so much of us that like, we try to sneak it in wherever we can, especially like I try to sneak it in with a lot of the songs that I bring to the table, but just like fucking hardcore riffs, dude. Like there's something about just that classic fucking Hatebreed, fucking thing. I should have put Hatebreed on that list, really. But like, I mean, they're the kings. Let's do Hatebreed's playing Satisfaction too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, but like, there's something about that. I still give me a fucking hardcore riff and let me punch some people in the face. Make me want to fight somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, then. Talk to me now. We'll finish off with talking about coming off the back of this album being re-released, all these anniversary shows happening. What's the next move for ATREYU? What's coming up?
So we leave for the UK Europe tour like in a week or so. But coincidentally, we are releasing a new song. It might be out by the time this comes out. It will be next week on the 17th. So yeah, that's it's just a single for now. But it's going to be a fun fucking 4 minutes, I think, for people that have liked our band at any given moment. I won't say it's a return to form because I don't really believe in I don't believe that bands should try to be what they ever were. Just try to be what you are, not what you were. But
it's an interesting term, return to form, because it's like,
what is form? Yeah. It's that subjective. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it's the gnarliest fucking metal song we've ever written in our life.
Well, I think that's enough to get people keen.
I think it's going to shock people. I think it's going to shock people coming off of, us doing like our last record had a lot of heavy songs, but it was still kind of, lived in radio world and wasn't that crazy. And then going into the Paranoia Sessions thing, I think everyone expected that we were going to be like an acoustic band from forever. I think we sort of took a hard left when we started doing all the Curse stuff, but I think this is going to surprise a lot of people.
Fuck yeah, dude. Absolutely.
I think it's the coolest shit we've ever written. Every band fucking says that. I think it's the fucking coolest shit we've ever written.
I mean, look, if you're a band and you don't believe that when you drop stuff, why are you still releasing music at the end of the day?
I mean, there's no point. There's literally no point. Being in a band is not easy. It's the hardest fucking thing. It is the best job in the world, but it is hard as fuck. It is There's a lot of details, a lot of travel, a lot of being away from your family, a lot of fucked up hours, a lot of weird living experiences. If it's not fun and you're not enjoying it, there is no point.
100%,
And
man.
even a lot of times, the money's not even that good. Like, especially when we come to places like fucking Australia and other countries and all these things. It's like, it
It's
takes a
not
lot to get there. We always
not
have that
cheap.
argument like, oh, you're coming to Australia, why not New Zealand? It's like, because it's an extra $10,000.
Dude, we chatted to Matt from Bullet for My Valentine recently, and he said the same thing. He was just like, because he talked about finally coming back to Australia, and it's the first time they've done a headliner here in a long, long, long time.
Yeah.
And he was so honest. He just said, if you're on the internet commenting on every tour we announce, thinking that we hate your country and we don't want to come, you're a fucking idiot. He said,
Yeah.
so many things have to align: schedules, costs, like availability of support bands,
Yeah.
availability of venues. It's
Yeah.
not that easy to just go, we want to go to Brazil today, we want to go to Germany tomorrow, we want to go to Australia the next day. It's just
Yeah.
not possible.
When it's also, you also have the element too, when you're putting a tour together, like a tour, if it to be successful has to be financially successful. You know what I mean? Like we can't do what we do for free. So it's like if you can if you're gonna go if you're in Southern California and or you're in Texas and for some reason the Dallas show will pay you more than the Houston show, well, I guess we probably have to do the Dallas show
Yeah.
because it's on a Friday night and they'll pay us more and it's going to be better for the whole tour. And also you go out and our booking agents go out and try to fucking wrangle up promoters and cities and whatever and this and that. And like you said, shit's not always available. On the Curse Tour in the States, especially, there's so many places we're not playing because there straight up wasn't availability, or we're playing like a venue that we're like, oh, what? And it's like, that's the only one that's like, you want to
Yeah.
play fucking Seattle, wherever the fuck it is. It's like, you're playing this room. It's like, all right, well, better to go than not to go, I guess. But,
Yeah.
it's tough. It's really fucking, there's a lot that goes into it.
Well,
But
dude,
also, you hate specific cities. We also, I'm just kidding.
I won't make you say what ones. Well, dude,
I
honestly,
love
man, thanks for hanging out, man. It's a pleasure to finally make this happen. Congratulations on the recent tours to Australia. It really was so much fun. It was really. I spent as much time watching the crowd, just enjoying it, as I did watching you guys perform it. It was a really, really, really cool moment, and I think you have done really, really well on the album. I think it sounds great, and like you said, if people give it a chance and just come at it with an open mind, you're going to realize it's the same band. You're not the same people. It's still the same songs. And there was so much intention behind it.
And if you don't after that, you have my personal permission to hate us forever still.
Yeah,
It's okay. That's
that's
also
it.
okay. But
Well,
also,
dude,
just quickly, because you have, a world audience, but Australia, it's just crazy thank you and gratitude to Australia because literally in 27 years, we've never sold out a tour before we got there. And the
holy
whole
fuck.
fucking tour was sold out before, like I'm talking weeks before we got there. And that's never happened. Obviously, Memphis had a good part to do with that too. Like us together worked really fucking well, but they've never had that either. That was a first for both of us, which is fucking crazy awesome. There's a special place in the old hearts of Atreyu for Australia.
Well, shout out to Aussies who did come out in numbers to those shows. And hopefully that's enough for you guys to want to get back here sooner rather than later.
Absolutely, absolutely.
No worries, dude. Well, thank you so much and appreciate it. And I'll talk
Sure.
to you soon.
Oh yeah.